Many of you have heard us talk about creating custom forms to fit your organizational process, or maybe the theory of single entry, basically having one form that allows you to start and end a process all within the same page, really all with the goal of minimizing data entry. We're trying to accomplish a simple way of creating repeatable processes that allows you to get the data that you need while minimizing the time and effort spent by your team. Now, while talking about this, we obviously get a lot of questions about, well, how do you do that and what's the process? And the easiest way to explain that or illustrate it is just to use an example or walk you guys through an actual example that really lays out or shows you the 7 primary features within our existing Handle framework that allow us to accomplish this. The first and most obvious feature is the ability to replicate any forms that you have. So anything that you might use internally that you want people to be entering in someplace, we can replicate that within the Handle application. As well, we can create printable forms so that they fill out the minimal amount of information that they need, and then maybe you need something with a letterhead or a logo that proves as a receipt or just a paper copy of something for whatever reason to be able to hand over. That can all be done right within the framework. The second next most important feature is the ability to link, or what we call linking, that allows you to join together different forms and also minimize the amount of data entry that you do. So linking starts to create these visual cues or this process or flow that somebody will work through to fill out the information that they need. But if the information already exists in some other system, they can simply type into the link area any type of search like a make or model to link in equipment that may be existing in that customer's fleet that they're talking about. Or maybe it's an inventory record, they want to type in the stock number and link that in. Or maybe it's something simple like the contacts they're talking with. They're in a sales call and they're discussing having a conversation with 3 different people at the organization. Rather than typing their names, they can just simply link them to the call. The third feature is what we refer to as the quick entry screen for fast loading information. And what that allows you to do is with a single click, you can select new in any one of the different groups or the form groups that you've created. Like, for example, if you were you wanted to fill out opportunities within your sales call or start them, you can click the new button right in that grouping. It'll pop up a screen that doesn't have to display all of the fields that are in the full form. You can just display the required ones so that it can be entered really quickly. One of the new things that we've been talking to a lot of organizations about is just putting a sales call group within existing sales calls. That really quickly allows you to load in a new sales call or the next sales call while you're finishing up the existing one and just putting in the minimal amount of data that you need to, like maybe a date and a title, for example. Our fourth feature is what we refer to as field level security. And where this comes in handy is typically in approvals or wanting to make certain data private. So for example, let's say that you want people to initiate certain requests for like truck scheduling or for service or aftermarket type repairs or things that need to be done, but you can't have them approving it. You need someone else to review it before it moves forward. You can have fields in there that allow certain users to move that process forward, but other ones can't. They can see them and understand the status and where it's at, but they don't actually have the ability to change it. Now, if there's things that need to be completely private that shouldn't be seen by others in the organization, we can also do that as well based on the user's privileges. Features 5 and 6 really go together, and you may already be familiar with them if you're a Handle user. One is the ability just to search any of this information. So any form that we create, we can create an advanced search against that to generate reports on your own, or just mine the data ad hoc whenever you want. So anything that's being entered in can be searched. You also then have the ability to save that information and export it to not only Excel but to Google Maps. So if, for example, you were creating service requests or trucking scheduling type kinds of things right from within sales calls, you would also be able then to map those and see where they're at or drop them into an Excel spreadsheet for further manipulation. The 7th feature is more of an intangible and something that it's difficult to show. It requires some customization, and that's the ability to send this data to other resources. You'll see announcements coming out about further enhancements that we're doing to send certain pieces of data to other applications that they need further approval or need to work through a certain process for. But just be aware that this framework is designed so that all this data can be pushed to any other application that will absorb it or any other application that has a service that you would like to either display or have that data reside in.